Hello everyone. In this case, we are going to audit a biopsy that was done in operative report 5.1. So if we look at the scenario, our pre-op, post-op diagnosis, our patient has cellulitis of the right hip. The procedure we're coding or auditing the code for is biopsy of the right hip cellulitis. The patient was given 1% xylocaine. So the indications state the patient is a 73-year-old Caucasian male who is critically ill. The patient has developed cellulitis of his right hip and a biopsy was needed for diagnostic purposes for culture. Description of the procedure. The patient was prepped with betadine solution. 1% xylocaine was used as local. An elliptical incision was used to excise a segment of skin. The segment of skin was divided for microbiology examination and also pathologic examination. The specimens were sent. Hemostasis was obtained using pressure. The incision was then approximated with 3/0 nylon sutures. Dressing was applied. The patient tolerated the procedure. One of the following codes is reported incorrectly for the case. Indicate the incorrect code. So we have a procedure of 27040 and a diagnosis of L03115. So let's start by opening up our coding manuals. So I have the CPT right here. So let's go ahead and flip to the 27040. So this says biopsy soft tissue of pelvis and hip area superficial. So let's go back to our scenario. So we have a biopsy of the cellulitis of the right hip. If we look at it, the patient was prepped and draped with betadine. 1% xylocaine was used as a local. An elliptical incision was used to excise a segment of skin. The segment of skin was divided for microbiology and pathologic examination. So we excised a segment of skin, and the skin was sent for microbiology and pathologic examination. So if we look at the code again, 27040, biopsy of soft tissue. We did not biopsy soft tissue. We biopsied skin. So let's open up our index because that is not the correct code. So we are going to go to biopsy. Once we go to biopsy, we're going to go to skin, right? Because that's what we biopsied. And from there, it was incisional because it says, if we go back to our scenario, an elliptical incision was used. So that's incisional. So once we're back at our book, skin lesion, incisional, we have 11106 or 11107. So let's flip to 11106. It says incisional biopsy of skin, wedge, including simple closure when performed single lesion. And then 11107 is an add-on code for each separate or additional lesion. So if we go back to our scenario, we did one segment, right? So we don't want 11107, we don't have an add-on code. All we are going to have is 11106. So let's make sure and verify our cellulitis diagnosis code. So take your CPT manual away and open up your CM diagnosis. So again, L03115. L03115. Cellulitis of right lower limb. So if we go back to our scenario, cellulitis of right hip, so that is the right lower limb. So our diagnosis code is correct. So now let's pop over to Nuance Clintegrity. And let's look at how we code this inside Nuance. So once you log in, we would go to coding. From coding, you can click on an encounter already, or you can start a new one. So we're going to go and start a new one. We're going to hit Code Books. And then you want to edit your settings for your patient if you want. So our patient was Mel, 76, right? The medical record number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The count number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -0, 0. And our patient that must be an account number already there. So you can just put any account number. So I just changed my zeros to ones and I'd like that. So we're going to change our patient to an outpatient. And then our discharge date, or so I'm just going to use the first for both. Now you don't have to enter that information to code. It's just sometimes nice to do. Okay, so we know our diagnosis was okay. But if you wanted to look up the diagnosis code, this is where you would come. But we're going to look up the CBT. So we're going to change the search to CBT. And you can do standard or smart. I'm going to do smart. So we're going to type biopsy, skin, incisional. Oh, it switched it back. So make sure you keep CBT. So biopsy, skin, incisional, and hit search. Then it's in the CBT book, and we're looking for where the skin is, right there, skin incisional. So it gives us the same codes that we had in our CBT book, the 11106 or 11107. So if we click on that, it will actually take us inside the CBT book. So now we have to go to the surgery section, then integumentary section. Then we want our code range, which was 11106. So the first one. Then we would go down to biopsy, and it gives us all our codes right there. So if you hit this in, it has instructional notes available. So if you want to click and read that, here's all the coding instructional notes for those codes. The CBT assistance is linked, or coding clinic for HCPCS. That's what those symbols are. So once you find the code in Nuance, we're going to come over here to the code book side, and we're going to go enter our 11106 code. And let's enter our diagnosis while we're right here, which was L03115. And let's see it. The yellow means there's an edit or something. So if you come up to where the red is at the top, it's telling us we can use an additional code to identify the organism. We don't know the organism, so I'm going to ignore that. So it gives me my ignored messages. So there are the two codes, L03.115 and 11106.